Hey Libra, your October tarot reading is ready. I'm Eleanor. Welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. What we have here is your theme, your main theme, 3 messages to expand on that, a week-to-week forecast, career and finance up here, love and romance down here, and a bonus synchronistic symbol for an additional message. This is a unique deck, so if you want to form a question as the reading goes on, you can get an answer in the little mix of symbols that might have meaning just for you. Okay, your theme is contemplation, reflections, rumination, and musings. So your most important tool in October is your imagination. Now, like any tool, how you use it matters. So explore many possibilities and try on more than one lens before making big decisions. The overall feeling I'm getting is one of conservation, observation, and caution. And that's kind of all up in here, and we'll get to all that. Now your first clarifier is the Ten of Pentacles. So as you explore options and possibilities and run scenarios in your mind, expand into the very long term at some point. Play the scenarios out past your own experience into the community, the coming generations, or your carbon footprint. You're not just planning like the little starter pot for your seedling, you're assessing the mighty oak it's going to become, and what will that require, even if it only gets to be as tall as you in your lifetime. It's a weird thought, but like, what would archaeologists say about the life that you built? Next, you have the Chariot. This is the most active and kinetic card you have in this whole reading. This takes contemplation and turns it into an orchestration, a weaving, an alignment of independent factors into a single goal or onto a single goal. There's a feeling like you know those old-timey Viewmasters where you have a picture for each eye in the little eye holes, and then the brain blends the independent pictures into a single 3D image. I don't know if anyone's seen that or if I'm just old. Or it's like a detective's bulletin board, you know, with all of the red yarn connecting all of the pieces of information. You're weaving and you're directing forces to join in order to carry you towards your goal more smoothly and expediently. Now finally you have the Page of Cups. Actually, by the way, you have 3 pages on the table. So a side note on that, either children are factoring in heavily for you this month, or you're facing several new beginnings on different fronts. So yeah, Page of Cups here, page and page. Anyway, Page of Cups, while these first 2 are more calculating energies, this one is more open to anything. And instead of creating narratives, it's you tapping into your sense of wonder and allowing the universe to surprise you as the story unfolds. It's you saying, it's more fun to not know in this case, and too much information takes the fun and the mystery out of it. And in discovery, finding renewal for your inner child. Now getting into your week-to-week forecast, week 1, you have the Ten of Earth reversed, which is kind of interesting with that Ten of Pentacles up here. That's the same as the Ten of Earth upright in your overall, but I don't really think they're related. So while you're thinking long term like this, it can get out of hand where you lose perspective on what matters. And here's what that means for the opening of October. A good filter question to ask is this going to matter in 1 year, 5 years, whatever? Not everything will. So don't give certain things more longevity and purpose than they deserve. This makes it easier to let certain things go to make room for what you really want to last and build in the long term. So be able to recognize what no one is going to remember or care about, and don't invest unless it's something that you want to. Now week 2, you have the Page of Air reversed. The first thing I got here was it's okay to say I don't know. Also, don't let a fear of being wrong curtail your curiosity. Like, it's okay to be wrong and replace old information with new information as it becomes available. And it doesn't have to mean anything about you as a person, so there's no reason to just dig in. A good skill to learn, to sharpen or employ this week is discernment between fact and opinion, and not only where you hear it coming in, but where that line might be blurred in your mind as well. And in this contemplative energy, there could be many thoughts coming and going. Don't judge them. Like I said, this month feels very observational and experimental. And this might sound weird, but there's more to learn by observing the behavior of your thoughts than their content right now. And be willing to discard thought forms that don't serve you. Now week 3, you have the Page of Fire. So while, like I said, this Chariot was the most active energy, this week is the one where you could be feeling the most inspired and energized. Now, this reflects more of a way that you could be feeling or seeing things more so than an event or a circumstance. So I can see this sort of excitable, distractible, potentially impulsive energy being at odds with what might be called for in both the career and the love, because you have that Four of Pentacles twice, once in each section, which could be asking for more conservative or reserved behavior this month. So, and your theme being contemplation, that's going to conflict with your knee-jerk responses this week. This is kind of a triggerable energy. The best thing to bring to this energy is awareness. Now, week 4, you have the Emperor. This feels like the culmination of what all this contemplation has shown you, because you finish off this month completely in your power. This is a big jump from page energy, which is pioneering but inexperienced, and the Emperor is all experience, having learned from both success and failure, and by taking both accountability and credit, can put all of the lessons and pieces together to generate true power and autonomy to wield this fire effectively, because it's being wielded with intelligence, heart, and well-utilized resources. So it's a relaxed sovereignty. It's the ultimate card of self-control and cultivated discipline, and you achieve it by doing the reflective work. Now for career and finance, you have the Hanged Man with the Four of Pentacles. Now this deck is it's describing vanity to this card. It's a little different than the traditional. So for the self-employed and the traditionally employed alike, I'm actually going to put them together for this. Take what resonates, apply it however it fits to your situation. But this generally states that if your go-to is to throw money at a problem or to take action by spending, especially if it's to build yourself up right now with their kind of interpretation of this energy, this month is the time to try something different and conserve your resources. Primarily, this is going to be talking about money, but it could be your time, energy, trade secrets, anything of value. The Hanged Man calls for surrender and observation. Essentially, it's the major arcana version of this contemplation card. So it says to take a beat before pulling out the plastic and look at your resources and the situation differently to reduce your out-of-pocket expense. Ultimately, whatever you're facing here, money was not going to solve it anyway, because the Hanged Man says not to act, but to change lenses. For love, you have the Two of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles. Again, that's that second one. There is some... So I'm not reading couples and singles separately on this one either. This is just, I've got a lot, kind of a stream of consciousness, a string of many different messages coming in. So there is some tension, like you're trying to strike some kind of delicate balance that meets everyone's needs. And this energy, it isn't sustainable in the long term. These cards feel very dense, like a lot of 3D issues, practical matters. Someone might be wanting to share finances and the other one doesn't want to, just as an example. Someone is probably doing too much to keep this relationship, and they might not actually have to, I don't think. Others of you, it's more like wanting to keep one foot out to keep yourself safe. Some of you might be seeing more than one person because that makes you feel safer in some way, to not invest everything in one person, or wanting to maintain your independence so that you're not investing everything in one relationship. So in order to kind of get out of this concrete shoes energy, I'm going to refer you to this Page of Cups here that's attached to the contemplation. There's love just starting to sprout. Someone is catching feelings. So there is also sexual energy here with this Page of Fire. Another scenario here, someone is using busyness as a wall of protection. It could be you, it could be someone else. If it's you, it's worth investigating why, because new beginnings are knocking at your door. And another message for someone else, save something for yourself. Don't be giving everything to this. Being someone else's everything is not your job. And finally, I'm getting a question of access to you. Who deserves access to you? There could be options for you, and those options, these people are feeling entitled to your time, attention, resources, your heart, whatever it is. Once again, for all or any of these messages, refer to your theme. Play it all the way out in your head. Put on all the lenses before making a choice. Remember to include Ten of Pentacles energy, long-term effects, and the effects of those you care about. Chariot, you're the conductor. Page of Cups, what if it all works out? Like, don't just do worst case scenarios, running worst case scenarios in your head. What if everything, plot twist, it all works out? Now for your bonus message, I have a really cool deck, and the way it's set up, it has all these mixed up symbols on it, and any two cards will only ever have one symbol in common. So your synchronistic symbol is going to be the one that's on both cards. And then I'm going to talk about one more on each card that I feel drawn to. But like, hold a question in your mind, and any of these symbols, they can be a synchronistic answer if it pops out at you. So your synchronistic symbol is, let's see, make sure they're in the camera. Okay. You have the anchor. The anchor is the symbol that appears twice. So this is actually doubling down on this contemplation energy, where it calls you to grounding and safety. This Four of Pentacles energy, recentering, stabilizing, and reorienting before continuing down your path or choosing a new one. This month is sort of like a rest stop where you can look at a map and regain your bearings and get a clearer perspective before moving into November. So the other symbols I want to point out, I was drawn to this alien and the chakra lovers. So first off, the alien, it asks you where you feel like an outsider, or conversely, where do you feel threatened by who you consider to be other. And then the lovers, it invites you to explore blockages to intimacy, and your love cards do reflect that for some of you with that Four of Pentacles. And so the first step to that is knowing yourself better. And then I've decided to add on one more little thing. I'm going to pull two cards from my little crystal ball deck, so go ahead and formulate two questions in your head, or one, and decide if the first one is going to be the answer or the second. Answer number one. Sorry, I didn't give you a lot of time. You could pause the video if you want to think of your question. Answer number one is listen to your intuition. This means you already know the answer. You feel it in your gut. You're just questioning it. You're second guessing it. The first answer that comes to your mind is the right one. Okay, answer number two. If you guys like this, I'm going to keep doing it. I just got this new deck. I just wanted to try it out. Answer number two. Not the right time. That's not a no. It just means not right now. All right, Libra, much love. Talk to you in a month.